Hi everyone. It has been a little while since I posted the video, and I was actually planning on making a video that was a little bit about um, how creativity gets me through some bad days. And I recently wrote it's a while ago now, but I wrote a blog about how it helped me when I had to move out of my house and live with my parents again in 2023. And when I found my new place and I was living by myself, I had some hard days, and my sketchbooks and my love for painting and anything about experimenting with new materials, I think like got me through the days. Come here. And I wrote a blog about that, which is a pretty personal one. And I also didn't post it anywhere. I just put it up on my site, and well, it's just existing there now. And one of the things that I write about is that in that same year, 2 years ago, my dad got sick, really sick, and it turned out that he had Kahler disease, which is a type of cancer of the blood and the bone marrow. And we entered a roller coaster, as like some cliches are true. It really felt like a roller coaster. And that's also why I wrote that blog, to process the last 2 years. And actually, 2 weeks ago now, on November 10, he passed away. I'm not sure if it's something that I'm comfortable sharing about online, but it is something that's real. And this is exactly where, for me, the power of creativity shows itself, because it gives me something to do. I'm still going strong in my sketchbooks. And that's also how he would have wanted it, because he was even more creative than I am, if I can say that. And creativity is something that played a big role for us in our family when me and my brother were little. And there were days where our living room was filled with empty canvases, and my dad was painting, and he was an illustrator, and he had his own business. And that was all pretty bleeping inspiring to me. And we also worked together for 2 years, and we sold his creations, and we even made our own little magazine together. And that was amazing. And I'm really happy that I got to be able to do that with him. I did want to share about it, because life is not only like pink colors and rainbows. Um, Life is also life, and it can be really hard. And for me, that's the case right now. And even now, I still wake up and I think, maybe I can try to make something that I didn't make before. I also went to the studio once last week. The thing is that painting also reminds me of my dad a lot. It was really something that we shared and that we talked about very often, and about artistic freedom and how to reach that, and how to not make the same thing twice. The painting is a way to explore things that might be under your surface and that you can't reach, because I had a lot of stuff inside me that I didn't have words for yet. And my paintings brought them out of me, and also got them into a place where I could see them and where I could also live with them. And I think that's one of the major powers that creativity has. And I thought maybe I could show you a couple that I made in that period that were about my dad being sick, and about the roller coasters and the fear, and also the love that comes up with it. Um, this one, for example. And these, I didn't sit down and think, okay, let's make something really aggressive. It just happened to, afterwards, I realized that it looked like, well, maybe his like cells. Um, that were quite aggressive, and also hopeful pages. There are also days where it was very explosive. and not really clear. And it's just how I went through these days. And especially in this sketchbook, how the further you go, the more expressive the pieces get, and the more details you're gonna see, and the more new things I am trying. Complicated. Yeah, and this one as well. It is also so weird for me that I know that this one was about my dad, but I didn't know that before I started painting. I don't come home from work and think, okay, I really need to make a painting about my dad being sick, or I really need to make a painting about all the stress at work. Or I sit down and I start painting, and then halfway through it, I think, oh, this is about my dad. Today is about work, and the next day is about, okay, just curiosity and my love for painting. And when I flip through these pages, I can still see that this one was about my dad, and that this one was about trying new things and make something that I didn't make before with a combination of materials that I didn't make before, was because we just had a really nice, good day. That's it. Like, it doesn't all have to be heavy, but it will show itself through your colors and through your forms, and shows you a little bit how you feel, and it can also alter it a little bit. So painting itself will calm me down and will make me feel better, but the painting itself, the image, doesn't have to be calm or peaceful for me to reach that emotion or to reach that state. I hope that makes sense. I think eventually this video turned out to be a little bit of show and tell. There are also pages in my books that I don't like and that don't work, but that's also okay. Because after that you can make stuff like this, and then I'm so fired up to go to the studio and try to put it into practice. Yeah, I really love these. Right now I'm still working on these, but I have to admit, Eska is getting a little bit older. And she is also a big fan of brushes, and it's really hard to paint when she is awake. So I try to do it when she's asleep, and then she sees me walking to the table, and then she thinks, hey, I know what you're gonna do. And then she will be right on top of all my work. But that's fine. That's also why I have a studio. But in these days, it is actually nice to just stay home and try to make some things work here. But yeah. I hope I will be posting a little bit more videos in the coming periods, but please stick with me if it takes a little bit longer this time. And well, I hope you will head into a good last part of this year. And feel free to ask me something if you want to know anything, or add it in the comments if you can maybe resonate with what I shared. Well, anyway, I hope you're well, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.